is Andra Metcalfe, and I'm a student at Colorado College in Colorado Springs. And over the past several months, I've worked as a public interest fellow with the Colorado Center on Law and Policy. And the bulk of my work there has been focused on a new initiative called the Lived Experiences Project. Now, the Lived Experiences Project grew out of the idea that as a nonprofit, it's important to stay grounded and connected to the communities that you aim to serve. And without this, a nonprofit really cannot hope to stand for the best interests of vulnerable populations. It also grew out of the realization that all too often, our society makes inaccurate and misleading assumptions about Coloradans experiencing poverty, and they do it without ever actually getting to know them. So the Lived Experiences Project is an effort to rectify this. It's an effort to speak truth to power and to better reflect and impact the narratives surrounding poverty and to better inform CCLP's future work. It compiles not just stories, but the real lives of people behind these stories and their hopes for the future. And through stories, it highlights inequities that continue to plague our society. It highlights some of the advocacy and legislative work that CCLP has done, as well as its impacts. And it highlights future advocacy and continued advocacy that is needed in order to create a state in which everyone has what they need to succeed. And at CCLP, this is our vision.
This video compiles audio and video-based highlights from 4 interviews that were conducted for the Lived Experiences Project this summer. The first details the story of Hannah, a single mother who is currently working towards earning her high school equivalent diploma in order to pursue a nursing career. The second tells the story of Margarita, a single mother of 2 children living in Montrose who experiences and advocates for issues surrounding food insecurity. Thirdly, you will hear from Ealasha, a single mother and tenant who will share her story about tenant fairness and eviction advocacy. Lastly, you will hear from Chris, a mother and pediatric home health advocate who often calls on CCLP for legal help surrounding issues concerning Medicaid.
Started off as a teen mother at 15, and I've been on and off of TANF program when I had my kids, and then going in and out of different other schools. I'm 31 right now, and when I turned 30, I had my son, and I have 2 girls and a boy. April 15th is my birthday, and that's when my water broke. And he was a preemie, so went through a lot with him, had an emergency C-section. I was there with him for like a month and a half, I'd say. I had a good experience with him, even though that happened. It got me more into wanting to be a nurse in the NICU with the other babies after I graduate and get my GED. And that's exactly what I want to do. For certain things, like buying diapers, food stamps don't buy diapers. And how expensive diapers are, how expensive formula is, how expensive clothing and shoes for the kids are, certain remedies that they need. It's difficult, like for $400. It's not an easy task, especially when I'm a single parent. I'm doing it by myself. I don't have a job, and I don't have that extra money coming in, and it's just certain things. It's very frustrating. It was terrifying of basically going up and talking, but it was a good experience. I loved it. I loved being in the Capitol for the first time and basically testifying to them about how it is for us on TANF and everything like that. it's just like really, really hard to have someone understand and put them in our place to where we are at in life. In my own thought, I think that they should at least hire the percentage of TANF money for the TANF participants.
Okay. I am originally from Mexico, Michoacan, Mexico, but now I'm a citizen. So I've been in the States, I guess my mom brought me since I was before 1, and this is all I know. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I have an 18-year-old, and he will be leaving to college soon, I hope. And then I have a 12-year-old daughter that will be an 8th grader this year. And I live alone with them. This was 3. I do have a little bit of family here in Montrose, and I done preschool teaching for a while, and I've been working for the district, but it's a little bit hard through that. Like, the income wise for me is hard with them. So for me, it's been hard when, you know, you make a difference. It's hard when they give you just like a minimum, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes they don't really pay attention on how much actually kids eat or how much we need, you know, because what I get, I feel like I can just make enough meat for maybe a week or 2. I have to extend it. Like, I think it's really important for my kids to be eating well and to be able to focus at school. But if I can't provide that sometimes, like, I'm just like, okay, here's eggs again, you know, like that's all we have right now, you know. And sometimes I've gone to get food, you know, at the shelters here or something, but most of the time I'm working, so I can't go. I have helped people fill out applications that don't understand it, and that they don't know that because they're not residents or citizens, like they can still get the help for their kids, you know. That's the kind of the community that I've worked with, is Hispanic communities, where sometimes there's people that don't even know that there's help out there, and and the first thing they ask is, it's sad to say, is like, oh, do I have to have a social, you know? Some people I don't feel like they understand what they need to be able to qualify with. Not to be scared to ask. Just because you ask for that extra help doesn't mean that, you know, you're a bad person or you're not doing your part of your community. That's really important for people not to fear or to not, you know, feel embarrassed to ask. Because, yeah, I work at a school district, and I still need help. You know, I still need help, and I feel blessed because I do get what I get, but sometimes I need a little bit extra.
Okay, my name's Ealasha Vanna. I am born in Denver, Colorado. I'm still in Denver, Colorado. I have 2 daughters. One is 7, one is 4. I have a bachelor's in business, a bachelor's in marketing, and a bachelor's in management. Currently, I am still a part of a lot of policy and council commissions or groups. I'm also looking for other employment opportunities, because right now, due to COVID, I had to stay home because of my daughter, who is in DPS school. She doesn't have anywhere else to go. So as a single parent, I have to make some sacrifices. Because every year you have to recertify, and every year I've had to recertify, something was wrong. So I had a meeting and I tried to figure out what was going on. They basically said that I was working in Denver, Colorado with 40 hours a week, as well as in Wyoming for 40 hours a week, and I was not. That doesn't even make sense. But just to, make sure I had all my documents going. But come to find out, somebody had took my identity. So is just recently a letter on my door saying that I owed $15,000 in rent. And I'm like, wait, how is that possible? I would have been evicted by then, and I pay rent every month on time. For the last 2 years, the old managers and leasing managers weren't turning in paperwork that I signed, weren't turning in income verifications that I signed, and they didn't tell me I had to sign a new letter each year saying how much my rent was. So my rent was supposed to be a certain amount from the last 2 years, and I was paying something completely different because I had to deal with it a lot my own. I didn't have any help. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would have been very helpful. Because I would have been able to talk through some things with certain people. Yeah, because that was really, a lot of those situations were very difficult because, they just thought that they could just walk over me because I'm a tenant. If I had legal counsel, they probably would have got things situated and figured out quicker than they did when I was doing it with myself.
In 1981, I had a son with massive health problems. His disability is quite severe. He's extremely intellectually capable, but his body has been quite the challenge. And so I've been an attentive mom for 39 years, and then about 29 years ago, I went to work for a pediatric home health agency. The two children recently that CCLP assisted me with, both families were here on some kind of a work visa, and in neither case did the county acknowledge that the children should be able to get on Medicaid. And when I would call just to research whether immigrant children could access Medicaid, I would call various case managers for different counties, and 100% of them said, no, I've been told they can't have Medicaid if they don't have citizenship status, or they can't access Medicaid if they don't have a Social Security number. And basically what I found out was that when a misconception gets started, people just repeat the misconception until it virtually becomes the law. So even though those were individual cases, they manifested in a change, hopefully, a change of policy and a better understanding of what was true and what wasn't true across all the counties. Out of the children that we had previously gotten 100% approval on, about 40% of those children got denied suddenly. And so that precipitated panic, big panic on my part, because there's so many children that we see in that boat. But honestly, none of these things, I don't think any of these things would have happened in terms of any defense of these families, defense of these children in terms of their care and the services that have been denied. I don't think it would have happened without CCLP. It's such a painful situation to have a child and know that they need something to flourish medically, and they can't get it for some unfair reason. To be able to bring that information or correct the misconception or whatever and have them get what they need is, I'm just absolutely, I couldn't possibly be more grateful for my job. It's just the best job in the whole wide world.